and welcome to another episode of Dinks with Kinks. I'm your host, John Dondero, and with me as always, Miss Rebecca.
Hello.
And Mr. Shep.
Good evening.
Before we get into this night's episode, remember to follow us on social media at Dinks with Kinks. We have both a Twitter and an Instagram. We post all kind of polls, pictures. You can get in contact with us there. It's really cool. So check it out. Follow us there so we can show you dirty pictures. We want to show you porn. This episode's a real foot tale. You could say the adventures afoot. We're talking about foot fetishes.
No.
Yes.
Oh, my.
Yeah, he lost me at the first one. He almost got me back at the second one, but then I just gave up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be an episode if I didn't make my puns. So we're talking about,
or at least the attempts at them. Yes,
the attempts.
The
Good
attempts.
attempt. Good attempt.
Yes.
All right. Don't worry, I have a couple more to really cram in there uncomfortably. So.
Oh, my.
No, that's a different episode. These are feet.
Fantastic. Yes.
Well, you could really say I put my foot in my mouth. It's okay. And just like that, I'm doing the show by myself. Cool. Anyway, this is probably one of the most well-known fetishes, I would say, and most common. Yeah, everybody knows a foot fetish. I don't think you could run across a person and be like, hey, did you know there's a fetish for feet? You guys knew that, right?
Yes.
Okay. Shep, are you familiar with the foot fetish?
I'm familiar with the fetish of the feeties.
The feet fetish. Oh, of course. I mean, everybody knows the foot fetish, and you either really like feet or you are completely creeped out by feet. And that's the one thing I really love about this fetish is it's very polarizing. You're either in it like, oh my God, I love feet. Or you're kind of midway. Most people are not midway. Most people have an opinion one way or another, but like I'm midway.
I'm midway. I mean, feet don't bother me. I don't mind feet. I mean, it doesn't gross me out.
Would you suck
But I'm not. What?
Would you suck a man's toe?
I have sucked on a man's toe before. I have sucked on toes before.
All right.
But not often. That was like many years ago.
So it's not your every Tuesday event. Okay, I get you.
No.
Shepard, have you ever played with feet?
No toe.
No.
Well, I mean, I've done everything with feet. Massage therapist. I know the ways of the feet.
Mm.
That is very true. And foot rub, we're going to talk very extensively foot rub. So I want to know exactly how you would rub a foot professionally. I need to know this.
Why have I not gotten a foot rub? Shep, we need to.
Because we haven't met yet. But I mean,
that's true.
That could easily be a thing.
Wait, Shep, I know you. Can I get a foot rub? All right, moving on.
The Dinks with Kinks foot rub.
Yeah.
Are we all sitting in a circle just rubbing each other's feet?
We could do a circle rub.
Yes.
If we
there are those. I mean,
if we all do foot rubs together, are we all feet fetishing together?
I mean, that's what happens when you get a bunch of massage therapists together,
Yeah.
Circle rubs.
Circle rub. But
I mean, I'd be down for that.
this is a really, really big fetish. I mean, and I don't mean like
Depends on the shoe size.
No, I mean like there's so much to talk about. I don't know if we're going to get all to it today. So foot fetish people, fear not. What we don't cover, I promise, we're going to make a bonus episode. But we're going to try to get as much information to you as possible. A foot fetish entails everything from visual sight, tactile touching feet, to having your feet touched, like both ways, to everything from taste, smell, you name it, every sensory you could possibly have, it applies to a
Being
foot
walked
fetish.
on by them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
Human carpet goes well with foot fetish.
one that's very popular is, and this one also attached, is barefoot. States of dress, like barefoot, flip-flops, sandals, high heels, regular socks, pantyhose, hosiery stockings, all those sort of things. You name it, if it goes on feet, good. It goes with every fetish we've ever talked about.
Yes.
When
And
we talked about splashing, guess what? Feet.
squishy feet.
Yeah, sticky feet. Stuck fetish, we talked about feet. Giantist, we talked about feet. Pantyhose fetish, we talked about feet. You name the fetish, at some point in time or another, we're going to talk about feet.
I wonder if we're going to talk about feet tonight.
We're probably not going to talk about feet tonight. Tonight is not about feet, it's about feet.
With the foot.
It's about the foot.
The foot. Not feet. Just the foot.
But 45% of those with a foot fetish were found to be aroused by the smell of dirty socks. I'm not necessarily saying they get I mean, some do, and I'm gonna tell you right now, some do really get into sniffing and smelling them. But I'm talking like, you ever pull your sock off at the end of the day and you just get a little faint whiff?
Yeah.
And it's not super stinky, but it's like,
No, because I've learned from my past mistakes, so I do not get that whiff.
yeah. People get around 45% of people, and this was a study done in 1994. So,
But that makes sense though, because of the pheromones, the hormonal smell. Like that would be one of those places that it would be very concentrated. So that makes a lot of sense about
the musk of the opposite sex, or
Or
something of those natures.
absolutely right. And it does a huge pheromone dump from your feet, just like with your pits and your genitals. Those three spots produce more pheromones than almost anything. So,
Except on taco nights.
except around taco nights. Fun fact, and this is nothing really to do with so much subject, but I want to talk about it. Cats have been known to have human foot fetishes. Cats love the smell of human feet. And if you ever go to, and I learned this when I had a buddy. Every time he'd come over, my cats would go nuts for his feet. Like he'd take his shoes off and he would be staying for a while. And my cats would just be like, I got to sniff this. I got to smell it. I got to get into it and purr and roll around. And I looked it up. The pheromone that produces, the pheromone that comes from your foot attracts cats. A lot of cats are attracted to that scent. I don't know why. Thought it was just a fun fact.
They're attracted to any other dead smelling carcassy thing, like
Nope.
they roll around in it.
Well, you're thinking of dogs, but no, like cats.
I mean, I've seen cats too.
Yeah. Cats really enjoy the smell of human feet.
But you're right. That's why you see some cats just digging into people's shoes and stuff like that and nesting in them at times.
And stealing socks. No,
Yes.
I've had many cats. They won't steal anything else, but they'll steal socks and they'll run away with them and hide and they'll become their
Well,
toy.
that's starting to make a lot of sense about why my cat likes to hide in my pile of shoes in my closet. Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
So if you think foot fetish is weird, you think cats are weird, and we're not tolerating that. But so there, with this fetish, one of the reasons, and there's no clear-cut reason people have foot fetishes. I have read and read and read, and unlike other fetishes we see where there's stimuli of hitting certain points, media, television, how you were raised, this is most likely due to wires crossing, because the pleasure center for your genitals that trigger orgasms and the nerves for your feet are right next to each other in your brain. Like in your spinal cord, what triggers orgasm and what triggers the nerves in your feet are right beside each other. And
I need more
occasionally,
foot rubs in my life.
yeah.
I'm missing foot rubs in my life.
Absolutely. So Shep,
I
you could
mean,
be
there
given-
have been people that do get all the way there just for the right foot rub.
I'm missing foot rubs in my life. Sorry, continue.
No, I mean, that stuff fascinates me. Like, this is one of those things where you are hardwired. It wasn't stimuli growing up. It wasn't something you saw on television at the right moment in your life. You were born with a foot fetish. You are hardwired from birth. If you have this fetish, I'm not saying everyone's hardwired like that. Like, just some point in development.
Or maybe just the sensory experiences are cross-wired.
Yeah, well, that happens, in your developmental stage. Like, that happens internally, not through stimuli.
Yeah.
Which
Do you think maybe that's why it's the more popular fetish? That maybe because a lot more people have that, like it's not external, it's internal?
I don't think so. I actually believe the reason it's so popular and well known is just because it's a very polarizing fetish. If you want something known, have it hated. Everybody remembers a really bad movie or a really great movie. Most kinks are, take or leave. But I have met people who absolutely cannot stand feet. To the point where...
My other half.
Yeah. They're just like, no. And I'm not saying that they're prudes. These are freaky, kinky people. Don't come near my feet. So anytime that's brought up, they have a visceral reaction. They talk about it. And it spreads more commonly because people with foot fetishes don't typically go around saying, Rebecca, I have a foot fetish. But, I got to tell you about this creepy dude who talked about his feet and it grossed me out. So it becomes more well known. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having a foot fetish by any means, but that's my theory on why it's so well known. Because it's so polarizing. I love feet. I could do feet all day long. Yeah. I'll be like, yo.
Yes, but if you say polarizing too many more times, I might have to put on polarized glasses for this episode.
Shut up. Reverse the polarity. We're bringing it back to the positive.
Reverse the polarity.
There we go.
So that's why I think it's really popular and well known. I mean, it is very common, but everybody has a story about a foot fetish. In fact, I want to know what experiences both of you guys have had in your lives when it involves not necessarily rubbing feet shut, but like foot fetish experiences.
Oh, sorry. Do you?
No, you.
Well, Ship thinks.
Well, we like to hear you.
Long ago, many years, moons ago, I had he wasn't even like, he was just a guy I was sort of seeing, and he texted me and was like, I find it so hot. Could you send me a picture of you in black stilettos? Okay, so I sent a picture, black stilettos. And he goes, now can you just send them of the stilettos? Okay, sure. Okay. That was like, he's like, yeah, that's really hot. I was like.
Wait, with your feet in them or just the shoes by
themselves?
themselves?
With my feet in them.
Okay.
Like they were propped up like on the couch. I just slipped my shoes on and. Yeah, and he's like, yeah, I'm really into that. And I was that was my first experience with somebody that had the foot shoe fetish, and he was explaining it to me and about how it really just the shape of the shoe and how it makes a woman's leg look, and he loved that. And so I was like,
you know what all those thoughts and words mean to someone?
What?
This is how I increase my shoe collection. Because they will buy the hell out of some shoes for you.
Oh my God, missed opportunity. I love me a good high heel.
Oh yeah.
Missed opportunity, Shep.
That's why the people that have the foot fetishist, maybe, in their life, if that's not a real word, it sounds like it should
Foot
be one.
fetishist. Yeah, no, I think
Foot
that's right.
fetishist.
Foot fetishist.
I love me a good high heel. You're right. It was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, but those people, they receive a lot of foot pampering and nice, large collections of shoes, yeah.
I think I have cute feet. I don't mind them.
Well,
One of my
now,
exes was paid well hourly just to walk on a guy. Foot fetish guy, yeah.
I have strong feet. Since I'm half Asian, I can like pick things up with my feet and like massage people with my feet. Yeah.
So these are for all the listeners or the people that maybe might feel awkward about foot fetish people being on the receiving end. No. There's nothing but good things coming to the receivers. So if somebody says that to you, just go with it.
Yeah.
Just go with it. You'll like this journey.
I mean, if feet aren't your thing, but they don't bother you, I absolutely dig into this fetish. It's a fun one. Oh, also, Rebecca, I'm gonna need you to send me some fake pics because now I do need it. I know I made a joke earlier when we were talking about this about show feet. I'm
Yes.
gonna need that now, so I formally
Are you?
request. Yeah,
Don't
You
do it
formally
because after that, then he's gonna switch up to the whole scenario of I'm gonna need you with them, in the middle of a petty where you got the feet all separated out and wiggling in.
I think Shep knows a little bit more about foot fetishes than he gives credit for because some of the stories I have to tell.
I mean,
did
you
exactly
didn't
that.
bring me on here for my pretty face.
It says you have a very pretty face. I like it.
It projects so well through my voice.
Oh, I love that voice. Shep, give us some examples of foot fetish stuff you've encountered.
Well, nothing directly, but I've been in the fetish life for so many years. You just see all the walks of life. I mean, like I said, my ex was the focus of a foot fetish guy for a while. I mean, I was all for it. It was just a foot fetish, nothing more. So I was like, enjoy. But I've seen all levels of it, just for the fun of it. During some events, I think it was like once or twice, I participated in the human rug. Was it? Where they had a bunch of people underneath the long red carpet, and people walked across.
Oh, yeah, trampling. That's a good fetish.
Yeah, and just to see what it was like, I was like, I've done it. Nothing I really seek, but yeah, I did it. But that's about it. I've never had a foot fetish person in my life, and my current is the polar opposite.
She do have feet.
Ooh, feet.
Ooh, feet.
Yeah.
Back when I used to produce fetish content, I used to do a lot of vor, which, we'll get into a different episode, but it involves man-eating plants, man-eating things, or I would say women-eating things. And typically they like to see people get eaten head first. And the people who really enjoy that were the foot fetishists. Because when we would do custom shoots, we would get requests. And these guys know exactly what they want and what they want to see. I would get requests for spread toes, wiggle toes, soles. Like they want to see soles arched and how you arch your foot and you use those muscles right there. They want to see those actual muscles arch. We would get requests in things that normally you wouldn't find sexy, like tube socks. They'd want to see the girl in just like plain white tube socks, like men's tube socks.
Yes.
And people
It's
would buy those socks.
Yeah. And it's almost like you say, it's like instead of looking at the whole person's body, or the normal stuff as a sexy, arousing spot. It's almost like that whole person is encompassed within the realm of their foot. So the posing, the flexing is almost like looking at the whole body posing and flexing in a sexy pose in that mindset.
Absolutely. So you get these full requests, and of course they'd always want the feet clean, well, healthy skin, like no dry skin, looking real sharp. But they would like dirty feet, smelly feet, and to have the woman talk about feet was a very big popular thing. So this is literally one of those fetishes where it encompasses every sense, and every person is very unique in what they want. Like I like a redhead with perky tits with a hourglass shape. They want a long foot.
That's very specific.
I don't really. I was just naming very precise things that you like. Everybody has their type, quote unquote.
Yes.
Man, I really missed out on a money making opportunity back then.
Oh,
I was just thinking about it. When the whole back when the phone sex line stuff was the big craze.
Mm-hmm.
Why was there not a foot fetish phone line talking about things that they're doing to their feet? Oh,
there was.
People would have called.
No, there was.
It would have been popular. There was?
Yeah.
Was a few of them?
I've seen commercials.
Oh, see.
And internet sites. There were foot fetish audio lines. You named the fetish. If it was common, there was a phone sex line operating just for that.
Okay. All right.
Oh, Shep, it's okay. I thought it was a good
But
idea.
Shep, I'll tell you right now, if you started a phone sex operation of foot elements, I would call every single day. Every hour upon the hour, you'd get a phone call from me, and I want you to just talk to me about feet. Men feet are a thing too. This is not just like, a lot of people think foot fetish is all have to do with women's feet. In the LGBT community, foot fetish is very popular. There are plenty of gay individuals who like the same-sex feet, including men. I have seen so much. I've had so many requests for male feet. I'm going to tell you right now, one time I was sitting on a patio of a coffee shop. And there was this guy who was very, I felt bad for him. He was very socially awkward. So he didn't really know how to conversation. And, you know me, I'm like, I'll talk to anybody about anything.
So he was like me in reality.
Oh.
No, Shep, you're shy. You're shy and you might not talk to people. This guy would talk to people just about not entirely appropriate things in appropriate ways. He asked me if he could
I only do that with my friends. Okay.
Well, yeah, you only do that for your friends. We got to get to know you before you get weird.
Right.
He asked me if he could take pictures of my feet for an art project. And, which, I mean, I'll give it to him. Very clever. Very clever.
That was clever.
But as somebody who has been in this world for a very long time, I was straight up like, this dude's going to jizz to my feet. And you know what? I took my shoes off. I posed my little hobbit feet. I, unfortunately, have very pretty feet. I mean, they're hobbit feet. I've got hair on top of my feet. I look like I should be throwing rings into volcanoes and singing songs in the Shire, but my feet are pretty. So,
And well insulated, it seems.
Yeah.
just the top of them. Have you guys ever heard of what a foot job
So
is?
they come with their own sunscreen.
They do. They really do. Have you guys ever
Okay.
heard of
Good,
what
good.
a foot job is?
Yeah.
Well, yes.
No,
Who
well,
hasn't?
oh, you'd be surprised.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Listen, I've had to explain what a foot job is on multiple occasions.
And this is when the point of the episode where the English goes away and there's nothing but
Yeah.
back-to-back noises for the rest of the time.
Huh?
What? Really? I think when you're shocked, like you
Yeah.
really can't believe that. You're
This is the segment where we are not allowed to say sentences. We can only express ourselves in one word at a time.
Huh?
Yes.
What?
Whoa.
To shred, you say?
Ooh.
Show feet. Typically,
Big toe.
this fetish is poorly categorized. Okay, that's the end of that segment because I'm uncomfortable now. No. No. All right, so typically, no, we're gonna lean into it. We're gonna go. We got lots of information.
Shep's trying not to come out.
He's gonna sniggle again.
He's sniggling.
He's gonna sniggle again. Anyway,
Okay, I'm
a
sorry.
foot job is when you grasp the genitalia of your partner on either side of your foot or insert your foot into them. Yeah, it goes both ways. And it's very popular among foot fetishists, along with toe sucking, which, by the way, if you have never had your toe sucked and you know how to do it, it's the next best thing to cunnilingus. If it's done properly. Because the
No
same
suki on this footy.
because the same nerve endings are right there. I'm telling you. If done properly, has the same effect. If you're open to
Does it?
it does. If you're
Does it
open to
really?
it does. It's science.
I'll leave it to my foot massage, Thai foot massage, and other techniques
You're starting to
to
make
do
me
the
feel
work
like
instead
I'm
of
missing
my
out.
tongue. Well,
I am missing
won't.
out.
Well, you won't
Yeah.
when you're near.
I have brought, and this is going to sound very braggy. It's not meant to. I have brought many a lady to the point of orgasm just through toe sucking and foot licking, because applied pressures and warm wetness in the right area. I'm telling you, it's where it's at.
It's called a little bit of warm lotion and some nerve touch.
Yeah,
They're the same thing. That's what I'm saying. Oh my god.
I know.
Shep is like, I don't need to put something in my mouth to make her reach orgasm. That's exactly what Shep is saying.
Okay, and that's fine. You know what? I can do
No,
both.
we're gonna make sure to put foot into that comment because otherwise it doesn't quite fit. So it has to be specifically feet.
Sorry.
I'm just saying.
Shep is saying he doesn't have to stick feet in his mouth to make
Well, damn it!
someone orgasm.
I'm putting a foot in my mouth. Okay.
Oh, and there it is.
I feel like that's not even.
At least this time he
that's-
was literally saying it as a fact and not a pun. So that's
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
that is Shep's fault right there.
That is accepted.
That pun is the direct result of something Shep did. Anywho, back on track.
And yeah, that's why it was a good
let's
pun.
talk about them feet. Back on the track marks, footprints. People like foot casts, footprints in the sand. Also very common with foot fetishists.
Waxy feet.
Waxy feet, hot wax on the feet, tickling. Remember when we did a whole episode on tickling? There's a whole subcategory just for feet. I mean, that was like, when I Google tickling, every picture except for 5
Yes.
were feet pictures. So
And whether either giving or receiving, when I mentioned the pedicure earlier, the act thereof, foot worship and all that.
very dominatrix. As always, we're gonna drop some sub and dom in here.
Of course.
You always have to have your tops and your bottoms.
Something very common for dominatrixes in particular is foot or boot worship, which is foot fetish related. So full circle. And there's just so much I could talk about feet. I could talk about feet all day long. Because I did feet I didn't do feet, but I worked with feet
Well, apparently you did.
I have
Yeah,
done some
everything.
Listen,
Feet.
I mean,
believe- I believe that every inch of somebody is worth exploring.
He's been known to feet in the warm.
I've been known to feet in the warm. No, I believe a person's
Or feet
body,
with his warm.
every inch should
That
be
goes.
explored and played with. And I just know the nerve endings of the feet on both male and female directly run through the nerve endings for your genitalia. So science is on my side. I've got science, and you can't argue.
Sounds
with
like science is in your penis there for a moment.
Science is in my penis and feet. Okay, so send feet pics. I need them for science.
So instead of Edward penis hands, it's Edward penis foot?
Edward, there are sex toys that are literally feet. They're fleshlights, and the hole that you stick your foot is dabbed in the middle of the sole of the foot.
Wow.
If you don't believe me, Google foot fetish toys.
No,
Oh yeah,
but yes.
it's fantastic. I love it. I've never used one, never wanted to use one, but you can go to any sex store and find feet.
Who needs toys when Rebecca's going to be visiting?
We're gonna have a
Sometime in my life.
We're gonna have a foot,
Sometime in my life,
a
she
foot
will
circle, and
come
it's
to me.
Gonna be great.
just keep calling, Chip. Just keep calling. One day.
You mean keep talking?
One day we're gonna talk about feet. And this episode, we could talk so much more, and I don't want to run our episodes super long. I know this hasn't been like a super long episode, so I feel like this is something, and I want y'all to reach out to us on social media at Dinks with Kinks and let us know if you'd be interested in something like this. But starting a Patreon where we do bonus episodes and bonus content where we post exclusive pictures and videos of behind the scenes demonstrations, Mr. Shep.
Your feet and all kinds of poses and situations.
Well, I'm going to put feet everywhere. Just my feet, Shep's feet. We'll have
one
of Rebecca's toes just come into frame. That's all, and just dip back out slowly. But no, I want to do like bonus episodes where we talk to actual some
Keep
foot
your
fetish
cameras away
models.
from my feeties.
We're gonna put them feet everywhere, Shep.
I mean, if the Patreon pays for my pedicure, I'd do it.
I guarantee.
Well, it's
I
going
bet
to
you
do that.
anything-
If you say that, then sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
But no, I want to do like
I will.
bonus
I will show
episodes.
off what your money does for my feet.
I'm into that.
I have cute feet. I have cute feet.
I don't believe you. You haven't sent me any pics. I have got 0 feet pics.
Okay. Shoe or no shoe?
One of these.
Well, I can give you my normal foot or my battle worn foot.
I want battle worn foot from Shep.
Well, that's the one where one time what was it, barnacle went all the way through the side of my foot, about a inch or so in when I stepped on it.
But yeah,
Battle worn foot.
we will soon be starting a Patreon where you can get bonus episodes. I have some interviews, it's like special guests lined up to do interviews with, particularly about foot fetish, but all the fetishes we've covered, I'm going to have special guests on there that have either,
Special guest. We need more of those in our lives.
we all do, but there's only so much we can pack into a 30-minute episode once a week.
Like Rebecca, a special guest over here. We have a guest room, you know.
Guest room.
Game room, guest room, it flips depending on the need, you know.
Do you guys have any more comments about
Gaming
feet?
with the guest room, whatever.
Any lasting
I feel like
opinions?
I feel like I'm missing out. I didn't know a lot about this fetish, this kink. I didn't, but now I'm like, I have totally
We're kind of
missed the
disappointed
boat.
in you. As much as you were into the hair fetish and then the splashing, you were missing out on one of the bigger, more commons and
Well,
It's a common core of kink. I mean, you have your
Mm-hmm,
have your core kinks. Feet are all about it.
well, because in my numbers wise, most of my partners have been anti-feet.
Which is
So it is few and far between. Like, I don't remember the last time I got a foot rub.
Oh my.
But that's probably why, is that most of my partners have been very anti-feet. I'm not anti-foot.
I
But
used to date a girl, and we used to say.
And from what we've heard in the episode, I think John might like feet.
I do like feet. I'm fine with feet.
I think we'll need a second episode just to make sure of this, but
yeah.
I think he does enjoy feet.
I do enjoy feet. I enjoy multiple parts of people, and feet are a very underappreciated part. I mean, I have a pantyhose fetish. Anything below the waist involving that, I'm all about. Come on now. So, you know what it's time for, right?
the wheel.
The wheel. We're going to see what we're talking about next.
I feel like I should be put on the wheel now.
You really
I
should.
feel like
John's face.
John would have done well back in the day as well. You know, when everyone wore the dresses, and so if you just saw a little bit of ankle, that was so hot. John would have survived well in those days.
He would have.
A little bit of foot and ankle's all he needed.
All right, guys, we got a fun one next week.
Ooh.
We're doing wrestling. And I'm not talking
I'm
about.
sort of excited about that.
I'm not talking.
He's not talking about Roman
WWE.
Greco.
We're not going to have Hulk Hogan on here going, brother. Well, we are 100%, but yeah.
Woo!
Woo! The wrestling fetish, and we're not talking about professional wrestling, what you see, but this is. I am actually very familiar with this kink because it ties in with like leotards and superheroes, and
Not leotards, just say spandex.
no, leotards are a big part of this. Wrestling, you have to get your wrestling outfit on, get the leotard on, the leg warmers, and then you choke slam.
I know, because fun fact, Shepard did wear spandex little things in high school for 2 years.
Were you a wrestler?
Yes.
Oh
That's
my!
hot.
I'm into that shit. I'm real into that.
I dated a wrestler in high school.
Front of the sports page in the in Rock Hill one year.
I dated a wrestler in high school. Totally worth it. Totally worth it, ladies. Totally worth it.
Shep, if I got you that exact spandex outfit, would you wear it for next week's episode?
That exact. What do you mean?
Like, you tell me what it looks like. I will go find one. And will you wear it for next
Go
week's
look
episode?
up Northwestern High School. I'm sure you'll see plenty of their wrestling pictures.
Oh no, I'm gonna go there and be like, hey, this is gonna sound
fact,
very
I will be
pervy, but
on
I
there.
need to get one of your wrestling outfits. It's for a fetish podcast. Needs to be for a dude.
Right.
Yeah.
One of your alumni.
Yeah, one of your
right.
alumni needs to redon the uniform for a special podcast. But that's more or less the wrestling we're going to be talking about. Wrestling like that and just
Gotcha.
grappling. Oh, it's going to be a good episode. And I do believe it was Rebecca's idea to put it on the wheel.
You're welcome.
Look at that.
I think one of the best things coming out of wrestling was the fact I had one of the letter jackets and stuff like that. So the pin for wrestling, it looks mighty suspect because it's in that round 2 of a wrestling match where you guys one guy starts on all fours, the other one is like kind of laying over top of them before they start.
Are you thinking about
that's
doggy
what
style? Is that what you're saying? They were doggy style?
That's what the pin looks like. So in high school, I got a letter for doggy style.
I can't imagine.
Yep,
I can't
yep.
imagine Shep as a jock. Like, he's a pretty fit guy. I don't. He's by no means out of
Nowhere
shape.
near as I used to be.
I just
I
can't
don't
picture
know.
him as a
I
like
think
a
I
jock.
could. I could see now that he's like, I could see him as a wrestler. I totally could
Yeah.
see him as a wrestler.
Wrestling, track, cross country. Yeah, that was me.
Holy shit! I'm into this. But I am actually funny story. I grew up in the South, and you know how everyone was big wrestling fans. Couldn't stand wrestling.
I couldn't either.
Yeah, dude, never
Yeah,
watched.
not I wasn't much for watching various things, but I just got into one of the sports.
No, I mean wrestling as an actual sport. I'm talking about wrestling, not pro wrestling. There's two different things. One is a sport. The other one is a very homoerotic soap opera, which is fine.
Yes.
I'm all for that. But
But that's for another episode or something
Yeah.
like that.
that's a whole different episode. But that's next episode. We're going to talk about it. It's going to be good.
Oh my.
Oh, I'm so excited.
So, as always, I'm John Dondero, and with me, Miss Rebecca
Good evening.
and Mr. Shep.
Till next time.
And always, kink responsibly. Good night, y'all.